Thank you so much for joining me today. I am Dr. Joshua Kolawole with Valdymas Intelligence. I want to communicate a basic truth about transformation today, but I need you to listen and listen to the end. Someone once told me that, look, for many years I've been doing the right thing, but it looks like I've been doing them based on a faulty knowledge. Somehow I just believed something and I was just doing it. It appeared ultimately to be the right thing, but later when I understood the reason why I was doing it, I discovered that the knowledge wasn't so sound and wasn't so deep. So when he told me that, it got me thinking, and I also realized that as a young boy I followed my uncle to the farm, and so when we got to the farm he told me, so you start uprooting these ones. I think they were weeds. He said, so start uprooting this row and I will go to all those tougher ones and get them done. So when I did mine, and in less than 5 to 10 minutes, I was quite energetic as a young boy. So I did that and I uprooted everything in less than maybe 5 minutes. So I now went to join him and I saw that I was struggling with one of the weeds which had grown a little more that I wanted to remove. And it dawned on me that the reason why I could do it, even with a younger energy, was because I noticed that the weeds I was removing with more knowledge now had what they call the fibrous roots, which is common with monocotyledon plants. Their roots are not, they're just little strands distributed somewhere in the soil, just within the soil surface. And so once you pull, you're able to get them out. But what I realized when he was ultimately able to remove the other one, which he was struggling with, I discovered that the root for that plant was actually had one tough one that went deep into the soil. He also had some other strands which were also stronger than these that went into the soil. I later got to understand, of course with more knowledge, that these are what we call the tap roots. So today I want to talk to you about being deeply rooted. The reason why I need to emphasize this is because I notice a lot of superficiality in the way people do things. We want to become excellent and exceptional at things, but we have so much superficial knowledge about that thing. There is a knowledge that goes so deep into the core of a matter. But this knowledge, this transition between superficial and the core, comes with a lot of evaluated experiences. But people are not ready to pay the price for this evaluated experience. Yes, you see many people in an organization just want to learn just what is basic enough to keep them going in the organization. And as an HR manager or director, one of the worst kind of staff you would recruit is someone who would have worked for you for 7 years but had only learned in the first 6 months. That's not a good staff for you to have. And you probably may be doing performance appraisals year upon year, and the guy may be meeting his target, but he's meeting the target based on the superficial knowledge, not based on deep knowledge. The reason why that can happen is because you also have created measures and indicators that are based on the superficiality. The truth is, the guy is meeting the target of the organization, but he's not growing internally. Hence, the day something happened and the guy requires a depth of knowledge to solve the problem, then he's found wanting. Someone else who probably had not even been meeting any target will rise up to the occasion, deliver on such day, and take the shine. And then you now understand who is actually true to the organization. That's one part to see it. The second part to see it is that the people who develop themselves, who keep learning, who keep thinking, who keep embracing the culture in an in-depth way, are actually the ones who are transforming themselves as they are working in an organization, or as they are leading a family or leading a system. So when I say you should be deeply rooted, one of the first things that should come to your mind is rooted in what? Because here in terms of plants, you will say rooted in the soil. But what I want to inform you today is ensure that your learning is deeply rooted. Be a deep learner. So I ask people, people just discuss with me, okay, I'm trying to pivot from one discipline to another, and I tell them, how many hours are you ready to spare in this new discipline? And I bring up the 10,000 hour rule, and everybody just runs away like, How do you expect me to? But the truth is, if you really want to be deeply rooted, then you must be ready to commit thousands of hours to learn. If you want to understand transformation, then you need to be ready to commit hours to read, to study, to learn, to know about transformation. Deep learning would save you a lot because it will take you away from the superficial knowledge. Now, there is a trick about knowledge that you also need to be aware of. The textbook knowledge or the one you listen to from your teacher is not enough. That will still leave you at the best, maybe superficiality. The one that really helps you is the one you do in the lab. You know, as a science student, until I saw the silver mirrors test with Tullin's reagent with my own eye, did it several times. In fact, I lost some test tubes in the process of doing it. That was when I believed that the silver mirror test is actually real. And that's when, for life, I cannot forget that. I can reproduce it over and over and over again. I've seen the process of esterification live. I've seen the several chemical change process I have seen live. As against many of my colleagues, when I talk to them or when you interact with them, you understand that that gap is missing. They had the knowledge for that time. They were able to scale exam, but the knowledge wasn't deep. So until you have that experiences or you put those knowledge to test. So if you want to be a deep learner, be willing to put yourself up for the practical. Push yourself to do, not only to observe or assist. Lead the fray so you can learn the lesson and be a deep learner, and that would help you. The second part is the capacity to invest in relationships. Investing in relationships. I want to tell you that this year and going forward, one of the great things you would do for yourself is invest in transformative relationship. You need a transformational coach. You need a leader. You need someone who would believe in you, would speak over you, speak to you, support you, take you through sincere evaluation, analyze things the way they should be, not the way you think they should be. And then you're able to put it on a standardized evaluation framework, and then you're able to run with it and deliver. And hence, conferences, seminars, online or on-site, all these things would help you. But much more importantly, going for all these things are great, but investing in relationship even when you get there is more critical. As you find people who are empowering you, you also must be willing to empower others. Because for the mentee, they get much information. When they feed you with that information, your own experience will be able to convert that information to wisdom for them. So you need your mentee as much as your mentees need you. It's a cycle. They come with the information, you process the information. Because of your matured mind, you are able to churn it and give them wisdom. So if a mentee like you fails to reach out to someone beyond you, then you will not be able to pass information to them. They also will not be able to give you wisdom that will help you. So you must invest in relationship, and you must invest deeply in relationship. That's the way to also ensure that you're deeply rooted. Number 3 is that in your thinking process, you must invest in deep thoughts. I once read a book that spoke about deep and long thinking, because these are the things that actually create the difference between smallness and greatness. Go and analyze the lives of several great thought leaders. They are able to churn out things in a more analytical, coherent way because they have given it a lot of deep and long thinking. You must think in concepts, you must think in frameworks, you must think in models. If you really want to transform your world, your goal must be to think within an ecosystem and find the interrelationship, interrelatedness, and interconnection between things. You will not always get them immediately. Continuous conversation with people, continuous learning, continuous interaction, all these things will in turn and over time give you that missing part of the ecosystem where things are interacting, and you will be able to understand your ecosystem better and be able to generate results. There are several other areas where you need to be deeply rooted, but these 3 areas for now would go a long way to help you, because it will give you an excellent balance of in-depth thinking, and that will produce you to be that will make you a competent leader. That's competence. That will make you a leader with character. That ability to ensure you have a sound value system and you hold on to them, that will help you to be compassionate and be able to create a culture, an environment in your system that drives greatness and that would help you to be courageous, to keep, because when you have access to depth of information, depth of analysis, you're more courageous than someone who doesn't have access to information. And ultimately, if you're able to do all this consistently with clarity, you will be able to transform. But I want to encourage you this year, don't be that developer who is only limiting himself to one language, one programming language. Go deeper in that programming language. Find time to learn other programming languages. No more. Don't be that student who knows mathematics and loves math alone, but doesn't want to put more time into sciences and reading. Don't be that student who is an engineering student who doesn't want to go on the field and practice what he's doing. If you want to be a deeply rooted person, you would invest time in studying. You will invest time in practicalization. You invest time in allowing people breathe into you, teach you. You must be teachable. You must be open to learning. You cannot block your mind or block every part of your environment to learning and hope to transform anything. So I want to urge you, I am Dr. Joshua Kolawole. I'm a transformational leadership trainer from Valdymas Intelligence, and we're open to coaching sessions, transformational leadership classes, and professional development at workplaces. If you're an HR manager or director and you want some transformational outcomes or some culture change, attitudinal improvement, performance outcome improvement in your organization, then reach out to us at Valdymas Intelligence. You can also pick up my book, Transforming the Impossible, on Amazon, on Valdymas Intelligence website. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.